when you were playing, analytics were really coming in. And like, did you use a lot of the analytics while you were a player to stay maybe in those zones, or to realize what you were doing when you were doing doing well? Did you use that much?
Yeah, I mean, I was a real big like video guy on the pitching, and a real big, I guess it was like analytics back then of like what he threw and when and the percentages.
Okay, so more so getting your scouting report on the pitchers. You watch a lot of video. Did you watch a lot of video of your own swing as well?
Not much.
Really?
Not much. I mean, I did. I would want more than like my swing. I wanted to know what they were throwing me and why. Like, I want to know, I kind of compared it to like playing cards, right? Like poker or even like blackjack. Wouldn't it be a lot easier if you knew what they had, or if you knew what they were going to do?
Yeah.
Like, I figured my swing and the muscle memory, things are just going to happen. I'm not going to have like this crazy B or C swing. Everyone's like, oh, the A swing. How often does an A swing happen at 500 at bats, right? Yeah. Just chase the A swing. Great idea. I'm sure the pitcher is going to chase his A fastball too, or that pitcher is going to look, or the catcher is going to look right here and be like, he sucks at that. That's all we're throwing. But get your A swing off. Come on. But I wanted to know like sequences. I want to know percentages. I want to know what he threw in a 3-ball count. I want to know what he threw in an 0-0 count. I wanted to know what he threw with runners in scoring position. I wanted to know who was in front of me, who was behind me, who was hot, who was cold situations. So that was a real big like preparation going into a game. And then of course that whole preparation is going to flip into the bullpen, into the closer, what the score of the game is. There's a lot of stuff, and that's probably what I missed today is the preparation for a game.
Yeah.
And again, that God-given ability, dude, doesn't have to do that, but I was the grinder guy. I wanted to flip over every single rock to have success in the big leagues and know what was coming before it came.
Yeah. When you're coaching like with the organizations, whether it be a D-backs or some of these other organizations, is that kind of one of the messages you're giving to these guys, is kind of letting them know? Because I think, and maybe you correct me if I'm wrong, but the swing mechanics video, like you saying, I didn't really watch much of my own, swing.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of guys, that's what they focus on a lot. Is that true?
Yeah, I think
more
so.
so than looking at the approach and kind of having an approach and knowing, going to that Rolodex like you were talking about, and even having a Rolodex to go into.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally. Yeah. You got to bottle everything up. I mean, this day and age, there's like duffel bags of like different equipment for like hitting.
Yeah.
Right. But if you're to like, I say like, if you get out, and if you're just to check two things off, one, did you swing at a ball or take a strike? Maybe that's why you got out. It has nothing to do with mechanics. Absolutely nothing to do. Or two, were you late? I think that's 90% of the time, like why you get out, right? It's late, or you took a strike or swung at a ball. Both those things have nothing to do with mechanics.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So if you can be on time and swing at strikes, I think you'll be all right.
Yeah.
I think you'll be all right. Like watch a Major League Baseball game. There's 9 hitters on each side, and there's 18 different batting stances, right? You can like blur it, and if you watch the game, you can be like, okay, so-and-so's up, so-and-so's up. Like there's not a right way to start and finish. There's some things you got to do in the zone that'll give you more success than the others. But like if you swing at strikes, take balls, and you're on time, you'll be in great shape.
That's funny. That's very similar. So when I used to give a lot of hitting lessons to younger kids, they would come in, I'd ask them like, what's going on with your games? And they'd be like, I'm striking out a lot. And I used to give them this test. I'd say there are a few reasons why people strike out. I said the first thing is your eyes, right? So if you obviously if you close your eyes, you could have the best swing in the world, you could be on time, everything, but you're not gonna hit the ball very well. So that's one. So you gotta check your eyes, say yes or no, right? Second thing was poor timing. So are you early? Are you late?
Yeah.
Right. We strike out a lot if we're early. We strike out a lot if we're late.
Yeah.
Poor pitch selection was the next one.
Yep.
But and that could be me swinging at bad pitches or me not swinging at good pitches that are down the middle, right?
Yeah.
And then the last one was swing plane. If I'm swinging straight down on the ball or if I'm swinging straight up on the ball, I'm gonna get a lot of strikeouts as well.
Yeah.
So obviously it's a very simplified version for young kids, but that's a similar principle.
That's it. Yeah. And there's a lot of mechanics and a lot of tools, and we're getting into the SCAP and getting into all this stuff. But I mean, if you put yourself in a good position to hit, what's that? Well, it's different. Get a good, strong position, and you swing at strikes hard, right? Not like this will sometimes like, I just want to kind of get the ball over the second baseman's head, kind of flare it in there. Well, what if that doesn't quite work out? It's a fly ball to second, right? We still got to do damage, right? You still got to get up there. I mean, you have a weapon in your hand, like a samurai sword.
Yeah.
Well, samurais aren't going like, yeah, like you're trying to cut the rope. You know, you got to squeeze hard, swing hard. That's what I tell the kids.
Yeah.
But with that being said, man, like get on time, right? Yeah. Try and get the ball in front of your front knee, and then now you have like more room for air, right? So if you start here down the left field line for a righty, and then you got center, then you got right field. If your contact's like right here to center, and then you got right field, you have no left field action. So getting the ball out front, having more room for air, and just swing at strikes.
Yeah, I love that.